After 10 o'clock, 23.2 degrees Celsius. And I know being a Canadian, he'll understand what we're talking about with Celsius rather than Fahrenheit. It is Monday, December the 6th. And, well, I tell you what, really elated. So let me do this. Galaxy. That's right, you're right here at galaxy107fm. Got to welcome it along everybody on Facebook Live this morning. Believe me, Dan has been a very good friend of ours for, well, I'd say about 6 years now, but it has been about 4.5 years since we last spoke. Long time between drinks, I got to admit. But believe me, it is absolutely fantastic to have Dan Davidson, and believe me, everybody in Canada talks about this man right back here with us. Let's kick it off. Say we did. Right here at Galaxy. Here's Dan Davidson.
Nice intro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Nice to have you back, my bro.
Yeah, I can't believe it was 2017. That was wild.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about today.
Oh, we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, are you still putting on, I don't know, the Captain Kirk outfit, you know, or...
It's been a minute since I put on the old Star Trek uniform, but yeah, I've done a few other silly ones since then, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I saw the teddy bear thing.
What did I do with the teddy bear thing?
Yeah, the onesie suits where everybody was dressed up as animals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was found. I was in a moose costume on that one.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny that you said that because I actually own teddy bear costumes too. I have like one of the only artists you'll ever meet that has a costume department.
Brilliant.
Ridiculous.
Love it. Yeah, the reason why I want you to give Clayton a poke in the eye is, if you remember in one of his videos, he's coming next week
yes.
too. Yeah, he had a pair of Stars and Stripes pants on. I think the video was to the song Mud.
Was it that one or was it Haul and Ass? I think it might have been one of those two.
Yeah, one of those two, believe me. Well, he promised me he would, and this is years ago now, that he would send me those pants.
You don't want them, trust me. You don't want them. You're going to have to wash them 400 times.
But believe me, the staff here are saying, is that because you want to get into his pants? Well, in a way, yes.
In a sense, I mean,
I like the pants, I do. Yeah, nothing sorted out of this, okay? Believe me.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, where do most of your listeners come from? Is it mostly New Zealand that people pick it up, or do you find that it's pretty spread out?
Countries? I'm just getting some stats for you, bro. You will be absolutely amazed. I think one of our biggest listenerships is actually in Uganda.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we've got a big following in Africa.
That's so cool.
380 cities and 294 countries are logged in right now.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'll let you know how many people are online at the end of this, because it just keeps growing, if you know what I mean. Marion Peterson is watching. Hello, Marion. Nice to have you back. Nice to have you on board. And hope you're going to be all nice, safe and well for the festives. Take care of yourself, won't you? In the meantime, we better get back to this. Let's go live, bro.
Might as well. Let's chase it. Let's make memories from the pages. Well, baby, are you with me? Let's do some talking up songs. Me and you and waking up. Let's do it and talk about it later. Let's make this one.
That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And today, catching up with a good friend of ours. Gosh, it's been a while since we've done it. But he's back. Dan Davidson, 6 CCMAs nominations, 10 ACMA awards, a gold record, a #1 selling Canadian song, top 20 charting numbers, and hundreds of performances from around the country. And he's been touring the world too. I know this, I've been having a look, including places like China and stuff like that. Is Dan Davidson. Nice to have you back, Dan.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's so good to be back. I was just saying off air that I can't believe it's been this long.
It's been a minute, I got to be honest with you. It really, really has. And believe me, in the time that we've not actually seen each other, I have run into so many people. And believe me, I've been getting this. He's writing songs with me. He's recording songs with me. He's recording for me. He's performing on a stage. Yeah, Dan, I can't get away without people saying, I know Dan Davidson.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad the reputation is growing. Been working hard, so it's nice to see that it's coming back a little bit.
Oh, it is. It really, really is. And it's a pleasure to be able to say to these folks, you know, Dan was one of our first interviews back in the day.
Is that true?
It is. Absolutely. I think you were in the top 5 that we ever did.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, and well, we kind of got good at it from then on out.
Oh man, well that's awesome. You know, it is such a pleasure to be speaking with you guys, and that was a long time ago, and it's cool that the last time we touched base, it was a very different career for me. So we're gonna have lots to chat about today.
Well, we are now. Okay, so what have you been up to?
You want me to summarize the last 4.5 years for you?
Yeah. Let's just condense it down to went to the pub a few times. You know, blah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's released so much music, and you know, I've been on a few really big tours, including a record-breaking tour with a Canadian guy named Brett Kissel, who's one of our top country artists over here, and we played. I think that year alone, I played over 100 shows, and I didn't even know there was 100 places to play in Canada. It was all over the place, but you know, between that and releasing music that was starting to get some traction in France and in Australia, and having some charting success, and getting some more award accolades and things like that. It's been pretty busy. You know, I always thought that when I switched from rock music to country music, that my dreams of playing internationally and being an international artist were over, because I just thought that you couldn't do that with country. But you know, I've never traveled so much in my life. Like, I've played in 6 or 7 countries. I've written in 7 or 8 countries. And, you know, I've been able to play at places like the Whiskey in LA and the Bluebird in Nashville. And it's been amazing. It's been quite a wild ride.
You know, at the same time, I know you know another good friend of ours, Gord Banford.
Yeah, I know Gord quite well. We've written together. I played his celebrity golf tournament this year, and we've toured quite a bit together. So, yeah, I've gotten to know Gord pretty well.
Very cool. Now, at the same time, let me just turn this up a little bit. At the same time, Dan, we've been following your career. Don't forget, we go back to the days of Found, if you remember those days. And, well, it's an absolute pleasure to be able to play Say We Did. Now, let's refresh our audience's mind and memory. Tell me a little bit about Say We Did.
Well, Say We Did was off my first record, and that was one of my favorite songs, actually. It's so fun to play live. It's hard to sing, so it's really high, and there's not a lot of room to breathe. And that was actually kind of the theme of that first record. It was just all at the top of my range, all like motor mouth kind of lyrics. But yeah, you know, coming off of Found, it was such a big, fresh, new, it was like my first release, essentially, and it went gold in Canada, and it's going to be platinum in the coming months here, which is insane for an independent artist to have that. But coming off of that, the bar was set really high, and I'm always trying to do my best to not repeat myself. So I wanted to push the limits a little bit and introduce some of those elements from my rock and roll past into that song. And you know, it really opened up an opportunity for me to continue to show fans what my personality is like by doing some crazy music videos. You know, as you know, I've done a few of those, which I can definitely get into if you're interested.
Very, very cool. Got to welcome along Kirsty Jackson as well. Nice to have Kirsty on board. Brian Wayne Perry. Hey, you buddy. How are you? And also Cheryl. Now, Cheryl's got an interesting comment here. She goes, Dan also produced Kissing in the Kitchen.
Brandon Lorenzo.
I did, yeah. There's a brand new artist named Brandon Lorenzo up here in Canada. He's from sort of my neck of the woods, and he approached me to help him get a song together. We had a lot of fun doing it. I've been learning a lot over the pandemic as far as expanding my production chops, and it's starting to become really great. I'm starting to right now I have a top 30 rock song and a top 30 country song that I've produced, and Brandon's been a part of that story since he trusted me to help him develop a really cool song.
Well, it was actually Cheryl that introduced Brandon Lorenzo to us as well, and what a talented young man. Also, I think very, very shortly we're going to be talking to Sterling John as well, and believe me, loving his music as well. Now, Brandon, not so long ago, and Sterling John down there in Nashville having a bit of a play as well. So, but how did the pandemic or the virus thing, how did all that affect you right now?
I feel like I was one of the lucky ones. Like, I had just gotten back from a European tour the day that they decided that it was like, okay, this is something is happening to the world. And I was able to turn things around really quickly and capitalize on it. I didn't let it stop what I was doing. And part of what I think people know me for is being able to be nimble and to swivel and to like try things that might take other artists that have labels and big teams might take them a minute to organize. But for me, I have such a small group around me that we like to kind of run and gun. So when the pandemic hit and they announced that travel was over. A friend of mine who does all my music videos, Travis Nesbitt, him and I were like, okay, there's people online play live at Facebook Live, and that's fine, but it just wasn't cool to me. Like it's just I don't want to see somebody in their pajamas playing guitar in the living room. It's just like there's got to be a cooler, better, bigger way to do it. So we put together the world's first digital music festival, and we hosted it on Instagram, and we had it started out as a small thing, but by the time it got around to what it became, we had every major artist in Canada on it, like every major country artist, Dallas Smith, Gord Bamford, Brett Kissel, Terry Clark, Neil Towns, and it even expanded into rock. We had top 40 rock artists like Saint Asonia and Josh Ramsey from Marianne's Trench, and it became a 3-day thing. And we raised, the better part of $100,000 for a charity that supports people that work in the music industry. And that was like the beginning of the pandemic. From there, it just went on. Like we had so many projects like that. We ended up doing a hotel music festival that kind of had the same thing. We blocked out a hotel that all the rooms faced down onto a pool deck. We brought in a big stage, sound and lights, sold at the hotel. It was all according to Alberta health protocols here. So everything was above board. And we found a way to bring live music to people at a time where there was no live music. And yeah, it felt really great to be able to forward our industry in a time where everything was put on pause.
Cheryl, I got to agree, absolutely amazing. What a great story. But I got to, I'm sorry, Dan, you see, I'm an engineer, not only a studio engineer, but a front of house engineer as well. And I don't get excited getting all dressed up to go to the lounge to watch a show on the interwebby thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I've never liked it. I've never been a big fan of virtual shows, and so when we did the Dieselberg Music Festival, we were the first of the party. We did it as big as it could get, and then we decided to move on. So everyone was asking when we were going to do another one, but I think we made our point, and now we're looking for the next problems to solve. So yeah, it's been exciting.
I get it. I really do. Here in New Zealand, we have a thing called Rhythm and Binds that sees the new year in party form, you know what I mean? Anything up to 100, 150, 200,000 people over a weekend, just massive. Not going to happen this year, but let's get innovative, all right? So we have a thing here in New Zealand, my bro, called the traffic light system, where sort of red zone speaks for itself, you don't go there. Orange, well, ho hum, you're okay, but nothing green at the moment. So what the Rhythm and Vines people have done is down the South Island, one of the safest places in the world right now, not a lot of it. I think Nelson has a couple of cases, but that's about it. Go and hold it down there. So they're going to have the Rhythm and Alps show down there. You know, what could be better? Let's do it in the snow even.
Yeah, you got to get creative, that's for sure. I mean, sounds great to me. Well, this summer, they opened up a lot of festivals up here. Not a lot, but some. And, you know, they were making, everyone had to show proof of vaccination or negative test within 24 hours or whatever it was. And to be, for my first show back this summer, to be at the Calgary Stampede, world famous country music place to play, you know, playing for 4,000 people. And it felt so good. And then I got off stage and I just thought to myself, am I part of the problem? So it felt a little weird, but it was good to see some real humans again.
Yeah, you know something, the Calgary Stampede, I've been trying to get these organisers there for years now to do a thing called the Running of the Santas.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that be fun? We could throw gumboots at them.
I think that'd be amazing. They don't tend to be too active anytime past July, so you might be hard pressed.
Yeah, well, you know, Santa's got to have a bit of a workout before doing the world tour thing anyway, doesn't he? So let's get all these Santas together and do a Running of the Santas. We could throw, you know, what are those little candy cane stick things?
Yeah.
You know, throw lollies at them and stuff like that, because they throw lollies at us.
Yes.
It's only fair.
Yeah, I think so. But I get no word back from these guys. I think they think, I'm a Kiwi. What would I know? Might be fun though. By the way, and I know that I've never asked you this in the past. Got a security guard dog here.
I hear him, yeah.
Yeah. Are you a vegan?
No.
You're a meataholic like myself?
Yeah. The Canada, this is like beef country.
Look, believe me, I ask everybody this, Dan. I really, really do, because I've always wondered, have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
Never have, no. Should I?
Well, I'm just trying to find out whether they're made of real vegans or not.
Well, that wouldn't really count as vegan if you're eating a vegan.
Listen, I actually had the pleasure of running into a lady not so long ago who said, yes, I'm a vegan. I went, okay, now tell me something. Where do you guys hang out? Do you go out, do you meet, do you go to the pub, have a good time, stuff like that? She goes, yeah, why? I says, well, simply, the only time I ever see you guys hanging out is on the news.
Protesting something.
You know what I mean? Do you actually go out and have a good time? She goes, yes, I do. I says, well, hold on. A couple of male vegans, getting a few drinks under them, and then they have a bit of a fallout. Go out to the car park, have a bit of a fisticuffs. Is that called having a beef?
No, not then. That's having a carrot. Having a soy-based problem.
Thank you for that, because believe me, if they get a slap in the chops, well, slap in the face is a slap in the chops.
A lot of technicalities there.
There is. We could go all day about that. But, really shouldn't drink if you think about it.
Yeah, so this is a good segue, first of all. But so I got that song, Really Shouldn't Drink Around You, and I got to work on that with someone in your part of the world, the Australian girl, Haley Jensen, and it was my first duet I've ever done, and to do a duet with somebody who's halfway around the planet, it definitely provided its challenges, but what a better way to figure out how to collaborate than in a pandemic with somebody halfway across the world.
Exactly, and after this, my friend, I'm going to ask you, if you're going to release more new music, will you come back again? But think about that one. In the meantime, releasing live to the world right now, here's Dan Davidson, Really Shouldn't Drink Around You. How you feeling, Dan?
Oh, good. Yeah,
Hey, Gia.
everything's great.
Hi, Tuna. Love you.
This
See
has
you
been
for our Christmas show.
There's a video, Dan. There's a video, Dan. Okay, all right. Cheryl says there's a video. Apparently.
We've got gear
Oh, for
online
the song?
too.
Yeah, there is a video for the song.
Guillermo Miranda is online.
Yes.
He's the manager of a band coming out of Norway. Yeah, it is Norway. Believe me, he manages a band called Viking Queen. Absolutely superb man in his own right. Little side note too, Dan. He's the guy that wrote the score for was it Lord of the Rings.
You're losing
Oh,
your
wow.
mind.
Oh,
And he manages a band called Viking Queen?
He does. He does.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Believe me.
They
I'll
could
get
collaborate.
Barbara to send you some music and some details. Maybe you'd like to collaborate with
I'll
them.
just introduce.
What kind of music is it? Sounds like metal to me.
It
Heavy
is.
metal?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
But
love
believe
those
me,
Scandinavians.
he's written some songs for country artists, for all sorts of artists.
Yeah, diamonds and whiskey.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Diamonds and Whiskey coming out of the United States.
Oh, interesting. Well, they, I always find on my Spotify that Norway is one of the main countries that pops up all the time.
Believe me.
It's one of my top 5, for sure.
All right. Well, yeah. Yeah. I'll introduce you to.
By the way,
Dan.
bro, I'm watching you, watching me, watching you.
Oh no, that's me.
While we're doing
Watching you.
Technology, don't you love it?
I know, it's like Inception.
It could be too, you know. Next year we're actually putting a huge big monitor up here, so you can see
Nice.
yourself watching what we're doing.
Oh, well, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
One of those infinity mirror kind of deals.
Yeah, exactly. You just keep getting smaller.
Yeah.
But hey, let's be honest. There ain't really no such thing as gin and platonic. I really shouldn't drink around you. It's a race, it's a gamble. I can handle just a touch of booze is enough to get the weekend friends. I really shouldn't drink around you. On the fast track, get back to where we left the last time. Think I wanna learn a lesson, but never would have ever do. I really shouldn't drink around you. Really shouldn't drink around you. Really shouldn't drink around you. Galaxy.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, today I'm absolutely elated to catch up with a good friend of ours, Dan Davidson. Now, the problem is, 4.5 years, it's a long time between drinks. I'm dire thirst, if we, but Dan, will you come back again? Will you release new music with us again?
Yeah, there's lots going on these days. I got a new record coming out probably end of February. And then beyond that, I have another record that's going to be coming out towards summer. So there's a lot of new music coming down the pipes. It's it's always a game of momentum in this industry. You got to keep the story going. So between music videos and releasing new tunes and hopefully getting down to your part of the world, like I just had a top 10 in Australia with the Roadhammers earlier this year. We did a collaboration, and I'm starting to get some interest for some shows down there. I have now a booking agent that's working in New Zealand and Australia, so you never know. Hopefully we can meet up in real life and actually have a real drink one day.
That would be fantastic, my brother. It really, really would. Now, Tamsin, coming out of Edinburgh in Scotland, asked Dan, if you're going to be doing the touring thing, would you consider coming to Scotland to the UK and doing a couple of shows there as well?
Oh, I'm dying to go to the UK. I've been there a bunch of times to write and work with other artists, and I've made some inroads with some artists over there that are doing some really significant things. Most of my European fans seem to be in France. I'm going back to France for the 4th time in June. But I'm talking with some promoters in the UK to get up there. I haven't found a place to play in Scotland yet, but I'm still kind of building my team in that neck of the woods. So I'm really hoping soon, because I feel like there's a real growing country scene in that part of the world, and they're starting to really really grab onto it. And, you know, between what they do with C2C, you know, these big festivals that are essentially between Nashville and either Germany or Scotland or the UK, there's just so many fans we're finding. So yeah, I got to get there. I got to meet these people.
Exactly. Well, you never know. I might know somebody. In fact, I might know somebody that, well, he holds festivals in castles.
Well, that sounds terrible.
No. I mean, you know, on the outside, I mean, we're talking about 150, 200,000 people over a 3-day weekend. You know what I mean? These
That would not be a bad tourcation for me. I would be happy to be there.
yeah, I'll have a chat to him. In fact, I'll get Barbara to have a chat. Now, at the same time, just got one more thing to ask you, and believe me, I would love it if you would say yes, because we would love to be able to put you into a magazine called Lazy Indie Magazine, get you a little bit promoted. It would have to, unfortunately, be maybe about February next year that you would appear in it. But this is literally a world-class magazine. Jay, well, he comes out of India, literally, and about 8 million people where he lives right now. I'm sure he knows each and every one of them by name too, you know, first name at that. But we would love to be able to put you into this magazine. Is it okay if Barbara has a chat to you about this and gets things underway there?
Of course, yeah, I would love that. You know, the more the word travels, the better.
Exactly. It's about promoting Dan Davidson. We've known each other forever. I mean, believe me, whatever we can do to help. Now, I'm kind of hoping that you're familiar with the Galaxy Artist page on Facebook.
I have, yeah. I haven't been too active on Facebook in the last little while. I've been buried in the studio, but
Well,
I've got it up in front of me right now.
I tell you what, use it. It's there for artists to use, literally. And it doesn't matter if if you're going to a festival or if you're writing a new song, you're releasing a new CD, doing a video, you know, going to the opening of a shoebox. Use it because people look in there. Huge amount of people look in there. It could be anything from a promoter to a venue owner to, well, you know, common everyday people like myself, you know. We look in there all the time. Please, it's all about promotion. It's free.
Fantastic. I'll dive right in.
Use it. At the same time, I see you got a nice little microphone there. I'm sure you can record an MP3 on that, can't you?
I do have the technology, yeah, no problem.
Very cool. How would you like to do me a couple of voice drops saying, hi, this is Dan Davidson and I'm on Galaxy 107, something like that. Get creative. Believe me,
like
if
Tyson.
everybody did the same thing, it would be very boring, you know what I mean? But how would you
Right.
like to give us a couple of voice drops, even introducing your new music that we may or may not have, and we'll add it to our show so it's continuously rolling through the night, through the day, whenever it comes up. It's down to the machine, actually. But you're being heard, you know what I mean? And people who hear you, absolutely.
Of course, yeah, that's no problem. I can definitely do that for you. Just let me know where to email it and I'll send it off.
I'll get Barbara onto that as well. Now, one last thing, and this is really important too. When it comes down to promoting an artist and getting behind an artist, today I'm wearing Ashley Pater. I really am. She's the darling of Galaxy, and believe me, absolutely fantastic, young, emerging Canadian artist in her own right. She really, really is. And got to say hi to John, Dad as well. Believe me, if you've got a brand or a T-shirt that you can send me, now check this out. I was talking to a Canadian guy. His name was Chris Andreas.
Okay.
And then I was going to be doing an interview with an American fella coming out of North Carolina. And he was watching the interview I was doing with Chris Andreas. And he says, you know, he's on the interwebby thing, finding out who Chris Andreas was, because I was actually wearing Chris's shirt at the time. He went and checked it out. And when I got to interview this man, I says to him, send me one of your T-shirts, because people look while I'm doing the interviews. They go on the interwebby thing, they go and check it out. Before you know it, you're getting music downloaded, you're selling koozies, T-shirts, all sorts of things. If you've got a website and got merchandise, pass it over. He goes, you know, Grant, I'm guilty. I did that in your last interview.
No way, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, make sure Barbara drops me a mailing address and I'll send you guys a little package.
Do that. Also, if you've got some spare CDs, we could do a giveaway or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. I'll send you a few.
Want to get behind you, my bro, because it has been too long, and I'm looking.
I know.
Yes.
I'm looking
Can
forward.
you imagine? Can you imagine if we get to do this in real life? That'd be so fun.
It would be dangerous.
What part of New Zealand are you guys in, anyway?
We're in the north. Do you know much about New Zealand?
No, not tons, to be honest. I gotta learn a little bit more. My wife lived there for a time, but she lived outside of, I think she lived outside of Christchurch, and she was on an ostrich farm for a few years.
I know the place.
Yeah. It was a good experience, but she had nothing but positive things to say about living there and traveling there. So it's really been high on my list. I find that with all the crazy cool landscapes in New Zealand, it's like all the best parts of Canada just crushed into two tiny little islands.
Yeah, but we don't say things like a boot.
Yeah, you should though.
No. Believe me, the first Canadian that said that to me, I thought he was talking about footwear.
Well, you know what's so ridiculous is there's so many accents in Canada. Like where I am, nobody says a boot. That's all Ontario. We have a totally different accent over here.
Yep, absolutely. It's legible. I can understand you, and I'm kind of hoping you can understand me. Let me give you this very quickly. The skinny on New Zealand is we're made up of 3 islands. Right down the very bottom, closest one to the pole. Believe me, it's not warm in the winter time down there. But
Yeah.
it's the only island in New Zealand that actually got a name. And let me tell you this, it's called Stewart Island, right?
Mhm.
Good manly name. But whoever named New Zealand after that lost all sense of imagination, called the next one South.
Very original, eh?
Yeah, literally. And the one following that, of course, North. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
we're in the east coast of the North Island. We're the first to see the light of day every day.
well, that's kind of a cool little thing to quip to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some interesting names for places there, as is in Canada. Like we have towns called Medicine Hat and Moose Jaw and things of that nature. So it's a little strange, but interesting. A good thing to put on a T-shirt.
We try to adopt our indigenous language, if you know what I mean, te reo. But we even name things like our museum, our National Museum down in Wellington, things like, and I asked a young lady to say this, she was American, I says, whakapapa.
I know the place. Yeah, I've heard that one.
You know, she says, I can't say that. I says, why not? I just said it on radio. What about whakatane? You know what I mean?
They got all the good ones.
Yeah, it's just down the road, actually. It really is. About 40 minutes away is the city of Whakatane from where we are. And we were talking about Lord of the Rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
About an hour and a half away from this office right now is the original set of Hobbiton.
Oh, I was such a big fan. I've always wanted to see that.
Well, a good friend of mine that I went to university with, I don't know whether you've heard of him or not, he was actually the producer of Lord of the Rings. His name's Peter Jackson.
Are you serious? We went to the same school?
He was on
Yeah, we went to
Sunday.
university together.
TV program.
But
Oh my God.
I can't call him sir because, believe me, I know what he was like when he was drinking. I saw things in the middle of the night you just don't want to repeat on radio.
You
You know what I
can't
mean?
unsee those things.
You can't, believe me. And I can give you some of his earlier movies. One of them is absolutely fantastic. If you like a spin-off of The Muppets, brilliant. Sort of a bawdy adult kind of version, but brilliant it is. But other than that, Dan, believe me, we can take you there, take you around the country, show you all sorts of weird and wonderful things that our country has to offer. It would be an honour to show you around our country.
All right, let's put that on the to-do list. That sounds like fun to me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Barbara has an entertainments company called Aurora Entertainments. She works with managers, with promoters, with all sorts of people getting bands and, artists into the country. When we open up our borders, we would love to be able to collaborate with your people over there in Australia. Shame they're Australian, though.
Well, he's actually a Canadian transplant that lives in Australia, so
Oh,
there you
that's all
go.
right then.
Slap them. I mean, New Zealand and Australia, we have this love-hate relationship, right?
Well, it's just like Canada and America. Like we're the same. We're the New Zealand of that relationship. We're the little brother kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, you guys are ice
Yeah.
hockey, right?
We're true, to the core ice hockey fans.
There you go. Well, us here in New Zealand and Australia, we're rugby union.
Yeah,
Okay, that's where we play with no pads, no helmets.
that's a real tough guy sport. That one.
Yeah. Sometimes no shoes too. I've seen it happen. I really have. But believe me, we have this love-hate relationship pretty much like you and America and all that sort of stuff. So you can understand. So there's places in New Zealand we love to be able to go, and we'd love to take you down to Queenstown. Sorry, Queenslanders. Yeah, sorry, Queenslanders in Australia. That's the place. That's the place where men wear women's dresses and drive fast in women's clothes. Called drag racing, I think.
Is that where that came from?
I'm sure of it. I really am. To be honest with you, you remember the Spice Girls?
I do.
I was talking to a young lady coming out of Brisbane, and I says, "How's the COVID scene over there?" That was about a year ago. She goes, "Grant, you know the Spice Girls?" I went, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, we were all doing good except Victoria."
Aha. Yeah, it's been a different experience over there for sure than us. We just had to worry about our borders to the south. That's pretty much it. It's impossible to patrol that,
Yeah.
so many miles.
Just before we go, and I wanted to talk to you about this because you never know, Dan, just quietly, if this actually happened, we may have actually met in the past. Now, let me alliterate. You know Bon Jovi.
I do.
You've toured with this man.
I have, yeah. Quite a few shows.
Did you make it to Sydney?
No, we only did Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Because I actually did a couple of shows in Sydney with Bon Jovi.
No way. Do in front of house or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. What a gig that would be. Holy.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, I got to be honest with you, but they did have a Canadian band with them.
Who was there?
I can't remember the name of the band, to be honest, but I've got to be honest, when I was reading this, and it really did tweak something in my mind, was the band that you were in at the time, Tupelo Honey.
Yeah. That was our name, yeah. We had a pretty good run, we were... The
The Bon Jovi thing was amazing. We toured coast to coast up here, a little bit in America. And we had a great time. We had top 5 videos on TV, and we were just young. We were young and hungry and learning the industry and making mistakes. And it, all those years set me up for this amazing country career that I've been able to have as an independent artist. It's just it's weird to happen, and I'm so thankful every day that I went through all that and learned how to do this on my own.
Yeah, believe me, we need road time, we need experience, we need to get back on stage, to be honest with you, because we're getting pretty antsy right now. We need some entertainment, we do. Dan, we are going to have to move on, unfortunately, my friend, but please don't go anywhere just yet, because
Okay.
well, we're going to do a couple of crazy things right now, and then we're going to make you into a cartoon as well. So
Love it.
yeah, believe me, it's one of the few things that makes me actually look good. It really is. Let's switch over to the other studio, but in the meantime, here's Stevie Nicks, Talk to Me.